This is Frankfurt, Germany, the wildest city that we have ever visited, and the true zombie spawn point of mainland Europe. This is a place that feels like a testing ground for the future of a technocratic, authoritarian Tower of Babel style city that only the European Union could create. A true Frankfurtstein monster. What we witnessed in this place changed us forever, and we want to share it with you as raw and unedited as possible. Starting from our check-in at the Adler Hotel in the center of the zombie apocalypse, where we immediately were met with mass street brawls and more.
He stabbed the guy.
Welcome to Frankfurt. Enjoy the ride.
Broke a bottle, yeah. Yeah. He's got a broken bottle in his hand. Oh! Guy in the blue jacket. Just for context, guys, right here where that just happened, where the guy got stabbed, glass bottle, massive street brawl, people smoking crack, all of this is happening right here in front of hotel. There's a hotel here, there's a hotel here, we're in a hotel. This is also, I believe, a hotel, the Europa House. And then there's a House Leipzig. I'm not sure what that is, but I believe it's an accommodation of some sort, maybe Airbnbs or something like that. Could also be a hotel. So this whole street here is designated as hotels for people, tourists like us, coming to visit Frankfurt. And you're literally on Hell's Gate right here. Just behind here is the Hauptbahnhof, the main station, and it is just horrific. It's literally the Skid Row of Germany. I can't get over how bad it is. We've literally just arrived, by the way. Yeah, this is our check-in experience.
We weren't even supposed to film.
Yeah.
We just asked the owner of the hotel, is this area safe? And he was like, yeah, super safe.
It's not even remotely safe out here.
Welcome to Frankfurt, the city that is home to the European Central Bank and of course also home to the marvelous German stock exchange. It is a city that has been struggling for quite some time, which is of course why we are here. So I hope all of you are ready for some raw and unedited impression of the city of Frankfurt in 2026.
Now we're starting our day off here at Gallosanlage, which is a green space in the center of Frankfurt. What I thought would be a beautiful green space. If you look at the reviews though, it's anything but beautiful and green. Syringes lying in the grass, people being attacked for being here, gangs of migrant thugs. At night time, this place is an absolute no-go zone, in fact. So I would steer clear of here entirely. Even right now, in the middle of the day here in Frankfurt, there's groups of migrants hanging out, drunk people, junkies, all asleep, all throughout the park. Steer clear, 100%. This place is an absolute nightmare.
Looking at the demographics of Frankfurt, you can immediately see that 32% of the population are not born in Germany, so just holders of foreign passports. 32%, you might think to yourself, that sounds like a lot. Okay, let's look at the number of people with a migration background. That number increases to 58%. Now I do have to say, me myself, obviously I have a parent that is from Italy, I would be counted in that number as well. But looking at kids under the age of 6, that number increased to 68%. Because obviously Germans aren't procreating as fast as people with a migration background do. So there you go. Give it another 2 or 3 years and we're going to be at 100% here in Frankfurt.
You have a really interesting dynamic here in Frankfurt because, as you can see, skyscrapers, beautiful. All of these areas here spotlessly clean because these are the areas that are looked after. There's a man here in a nice suit Plenty of people around here, office workers, wearing lanyards of companies, powerful tech companies, banking companies. 9 to 5, the workforce behind Frankfurt is in a lot of these buildings right here. Looking down onto this side here and over this way, the Hauptbahnhof quarter, all of this is total chaos. This is the park that we just walked through. That is quite literally just an open air migrant camp, drug dealing in broad daylight and all throughout into the early hours of the morning. A completely horrific area. And then up in through the Hauptbahnhof area, or the main station area of Frankfurt, again quite literally developing into a no-go zone due to the crack cocaine problem that has developed all throughout. This has been an ongoing issue, by the way, here in Frankfurt. Back in the 80s and 90s it was heroin. Now it's developed into crack cocaine, and I've heard in some cases there has even been fentanyl in Frankfurt. The most deadly drug known to humankind at the moment, plaguing America, and I wonder who brought in the fentanyl. I can tell you it wasn't Germans. Not to mention all of these amazing German workforce, the people that are in these 9 to 5 office jobs, laboring away, working 40 hours or more a week. They're all paying up to 40 to 45% income tax, which is very normal in Germany. And what does that tax go towards? Social welfare. And who collects the social welfare, or the majority of the social welfare? Not them. Now this here is the reality of Frankfurt, guys. So you've got these well-dressed men, a lot of them wearing suits, and you have very likely a local lady that is begging for money, asking if anyone has a spare euro. Up above you can see the glorious architecture, the powerful history of Frankfurt goes all the way back to the Romans. Francoforte, one of the strongholds of the Roman Empire. And then down here at the bottom you've got a Spielhalle, or a casino. Oh guys, check this out. We've got a truck here that's for freeing Iran from the Islamic Republic. So it's actually a pro-Iran truck. Something that I've never actually expected to see here in Frankfurt. Women, life and freedom sprayed here. You also have some Arabic on there as well, or Farsi, which would be the language of Iran. Farsi is their language, one of the oldest languages in the world. Unity for a free Iran. Wir sind alle Masha Amini. So Masha Amini was a woman who was killed. She was actually lynched in Iran because she was wearing the hijab. Very, very sad. Oh wow, here they have a whole thing.
Alles.
Alles.
Vor 2 Tagen.
2 Tagen.
4.000
4.000.
45.000 Menschen getötet.
45,000 people were killed in 2 days.
Yeah,
2 days?
2 days.
Wow, oh my god, it's disgusting.
Ja.
Und geflüchtet wegen des Regimes oder weil es bessere Möglichkeiten gibt?
Problem mit meinem Regime.
Okay.
Ja.
Because of the regime, he left the country.
They had to flee Iran because of it.
Wir haben so viele Probleme mit dem Regime.
Ja.
Und ich weiß nicht, warum dein Präsident hier ist. Warum einmal sagt, der Regime ist Terrorist.
Zusammenarbeit.
Ja,
Ja.
also ich weiß nicht, warum.
Yeah.
Ja.
So he's wondering why Chancellor Merz in one day says the Iranian regime is a terrorist organization, but then the next day is communicating with them and making negotiations, basically, with Islamic regime of
Ich weiß,
Iran.
das ist nur Politik.
It's politics.
Oil.
It's politics, yes. Resources.
Es tut mir sehr leid.
He feels very sorry that it's all about the money, it's just about the greed, it's not about people. Aber auch Kinder, Frauen, Sportler.
40.000
Ja.
Leute, guck mal, alles Kinder, guck mal. 16 Jahre,
16, 15.
16,
They're all
13.
children.
Ja, ja.
So many children.
Ja.
How many did he say? 5,500?
45,000 people were
Wow.
killed now
Nur vor 2 Tagen.
in the last 2 days.
In the last 2 days?
Yes, before it was a smaller number. It was 4,000 people, just about.
Yeah.
And now in the last 2 days, 45,000 people. Und dann schalten die immer das Internet ab, ne, damit keiner drüber sprechen kann. They turn off the internet, of course, so nobody can report or talk about it. And then more people are being killed.
What did he say?
So all of these people here on the left side, they are currently sitting in jail waiting to be executed after the morning prayer in Iran. So they're just sitting in jail waiting, basically,
Waiting for
to be
execution.
hung publicly.
My God.
Ganze Welt übermitten ohne.
So he's saying he's Iranian and he's gonna fight until the last drop of his blood to give a voice to the people of Iran, and being able to share his opinion with the people in Germany is very, very important, and he's thankful that he has the option to do it, the opportunity.
Oh, God bless you.
God bless you.
Vielen Dank.
Thank you.
Dankeschön. Very interesting to see that set up there. It's actually something that I didn't expect whatsoever here in Frankfurt. Germany is such far left leaning in terms of the majority. The country in mass has been heavily indoctrinated into being happy about their own demise, but seeing those guys there fighting for their own country, they actually had to flee the Islamic Republic of Iran and come here to Germany, which is probably in the future, in the next 20 to 50 years, probably going to become exactly, or position itself in the exact same position as Iran is. So they fled, they came here, and now they're trying to voice their concerns about what's happening in Iran. Naomi and I, on this issue, we're kind of sitting in the middle. There's two sides of the coin in Iran. So you have the Islamic regime, which is terrible, dictatorship.
Which we're 100%
and we're
against.
100% against that. And we do wish for a free Iran. But on the other hand, we do not support the interventionist style where you go into a country and demand regime change. It needs to be, or it needs to come organically from the people of a certain country. Foreign influence coming in from different angles is also probably not going to result in a good outcome either, because there's a lot of foreign interest in Iran with the Strait of Hormuz, the plentiful resources that are sitting there in that country. And this all ties in together, by the way. Africa is actually an incredibly rich continent. It's so much resources. It has an unbelievable, probably the most resourceful country naturally in the world, the most resourceful continent naturally in the world.
Which is why the people are being suppressed.
Which is exactly why the people in Africa are being kept down, divided and poor. Same goes for all of the Middle East. The Middle East is kept at war, it's kept divided, it's kept poor because of the resources and the oil that exists there in the Middle East. All of these people from the Middle East and Africa, because of how poor and divided they are and all of the wars and the regime changes, they feel like they have to flee. And where do they come? Right here. They come into Europe, and the result of that is a divided and broken Europe. So we are looking into the future of Europe when we look at continents like Africa or the Middle East. If we continue this, it's horrific. And I feel like I'm preaching to an empty room because a lot of people still today don't see what's going on. A guy in a Moroccan hat selling halal sausages in Frankfurt. That is beautiful.
We promised you bad areas. So far we've only shown you the good ones, so let's go for a walk.
Sorry. Hello. Police officers speaking Arabic. We are in Germany though, I swear.
Things that I find very sad around here, it's all Afghani and Turkish and Chinese. But I don't really see a place where you can buy German food.
Yeah, of course not. The metro, by the way, is just permanently all day. It's just drug dealers. People up here on the left are smoking crack. Huh? Huh? Fucking pig. See, Naomi's been here literally for 10 seconds by herself and these fucking pigs are already harassing her.
He said he wants to kiss my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, that was scary.
It's alright, I'll take out the rest of his fucking teeth. He had no teeth anyways. Look at this. Frankfurt spray there behind these two. These people are shooting up in the streets right here in broad daylight. What the fuck? These streets are no joke, guys. No joke. Someone just threw a fucking glass bottle at someone. Public urinals as well here. Every single person here is off of their heads, guys. High as a kite. And you have regular people just walking through like it's normal. This is bloody crazy. Skid Row of Germany, literally. We've got police up there too. 2 police cars. Oh man, oh man. God bless Germany.
I think it's safer if you film by yourself and I wait back at the hotel for a little bit.
I think Naomi needs to go back to the hotel, yeah.
It's not safe.
This is just out of control at the moment, guys. Really. This is the area where we saw the guy getting stabbed yesterday. Literally last night someone was stabbed here in the evening. Well, welcome to our hotel here, Adler Hotel. The center of all of the chaos. We just barely made it back. Wow.
Somebody threw a big, glass or
bottle.
something, yeah, in our direction. I don't think they wanted to hit us, but
No.
yeah, it wasn't very safe. We are back at the hotel, thank God, and we're kind of looking down onto the street that we just walked up. We sort of came around the corner here and then down to our entrance. Now, checking into this hotel, I actually asked the owner of the hotel if it's dangerous here, and I feel like he was a little bit delusional about it, kind of lying to himself. He said, no, it's probably the safest area of Frankfurt because 24/7 at all times there are police officers looking at the cameras. Like, actually, obviously there is CCTV in the city, but there are people looking at the footage at all times. And then in and around the main station at any time there are 120 officers deployed in civilian clothes and also in uniform. And he said, actually, if something happens here within 1 minute, apparently the police is supposed to be here. Now, yesterday evening we actually saw something happening here. It took longer than a minute, but there were a lot of police officers coming. But regardless, I don't think it's a safe area. If it wasn't for Luke and if it wasn't for this video, I don't think I would stay in the general vicinity of the main station. It's called Bahnhofsviertel. And this is actually the area that all of the statistics for the city of Frankfurt in terms of crime is being produced. So it's just this really small area with a really high density of crime. Lots and lots of drug consumption, as you can see here. People are selling drugs on the streets And the owner of the hotel actually said to us, we shouldn't wear any golden items, any jewelry out, because that is going to be a cause for an issue. And if North Africans are approaching you, they want to sell you drugs, you shouldn't stop walking, you should continue walking really fast. And then if you see somebody that you think they don't look like they have good things in mind, he said just to cross the street and it's going to be okay. And he kind of tried to sell it as like it's just the way every single major city is. But I feel like this argument is invalid, because I think in Europe, in Germany, this shouldn't be the situation to begin with. I don't think it should be accepted that this many drugs are being used in the street just like that, and this much crime is happening. It's undocumented people, a lot of sexual violence, it's drug violence, it's human trafficking. All of that is happening just in this vicinity. This few hundred meters around the main station is where everything happens.
Okay. Here we go.
Right, Frankfurt. Wow, what an absolute crap hole of a city.
As a German, I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't know it was going to be this bad. It's really scary.
Both of our very first experience of this city, we've heard bad things before. People have told us, when you go there, be careful. There's areas that you really need to avoid. We're curious people, so we decided to come here and check it out. Would I visit again? Absolutely not.
Not in a million years.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
There's sides to this city with history, with architectural beauty, because this city is incredibly historical, and there is parts of it that are beautiful. But it's all sort of a facade masking over the reality. And the reality is very dark, it's very grim, incredibly sad. It's heartbreaking for Germany that this is seen as kind of like the financial capital of this country and
of Europe.
Brussels and Frankfurt both are kind of the representative face of Europe to a lot of the outside world, and they're both the worst cities that we've seen by far. So make it make sense, because it doesn't to me. And it's just, it's awful.
I think the scariest thing to see was that the police are not excuse me. I think the scariest thing to see is that you can see that the police is not intervening with the selling of drugs, with the consumption of drugs in this specific area. Obviously, I think they do what they can, but they're not really enforcing the law, really, if you look at it. And that's kind of the scary part.
The police are only reacting when something happens. If someone gets attacked, someone gets stabbed, whatever, police and ambulance turn up. Drug dealing, all of that other stuff, there's surveillance all throughout the streets here. I can tell you, we've been on this balcony right here, looking down on this street below, all day and all night, drug dealing. All day and all night, people fighting, people shooting up, people smoking crack. It's completely accepted and tolerated by not only the people of the city here, but also the police force and a lot of the other people, the officials of the city, the people who are running the city. It's horrendous.
By the police, there doesn't seem to be any preventative action with this at all. And I'm not sure if it is because they're kind of tired of it, I suppose, putting themselves into danger every single day. But
yes,
I think it should be different.
Respect to the German police. I don't want to say that you guys are doing absolutely nothing. If this is the way Frankfurt has been, which I've read online for like 40, 50 years now, and it's only gotten worse. I can imagine if you've been in the police force for multiple years and you know people that have lost their lives possibly, or have gotten into sticky situations, you also and I also will become apathetic at some point, especially if this is your everyday ritual, and the police can only do a little bit to help.
But
this is the thing. They're never going to change the
I do
actual
think-
situation.
I do think, though, it's not right that there's two measurements of the law, because if
Yeah.
I, as a German, was to go out and deal drugs, I would go to prison faster than I can say the word prison. And
Exactly.
just because of the readiness of aggression,
Yep.
or the availability of aggression, let's say it like that, the law is executed in a different way. I just think
Yeah.
it's not fair.
Yeah, the police are scared. Germans are scared here. You see it them walking around, Germans walking around terrified. Tourists are terrified. We both walking through here, it's the least safe that we've ever experienced. Naomi literally walked away from me for 2 seconds, and she immediately, like this, was approached by a man completely out of his mind, making sexual advances and being very harassing towards her. That was literally a brief second where both of us became separated, and that happened. Can you imagine being a woman walking through this city on your own for hours at a day?
And that also, I had crossed the street in order to avoid walking through drug dealers. So I had crossed the street in order to be safe.
And they
And that was
crossed
actually
over.
the dangerous situation that I crossed.
She tried to avoid it, and they literally crossed over the street and went after her. So this is not a safe city. This is not the Europe that we grew up with, and this needs to change, and this is why we make these videos. From here, in our hotel in Frankfurt, I want to remind you all once again that Christ is King.
And God bless you all.
And we'll see you guys in the next messed up city of Europe. It's a real bad one, and if you can let us know your guess as to where we're going next. Hint, hint, massive protests over the last few months, and they really, really want the leader gone. So we'll see you guys then.
Could be about any country in Europe.
Could be anywhere in Europe. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Right outside our hotel, guys, group of people smoking crack. So before we've even left the hotel, we've got people out here smoking up.